A while back, I spoke about a ROM hack called Lug's Delightful Dioramas. The gimmick of that ROM hack was that the levels were like dioramas in that they were small, but very detailed. What's really cool about that ROM hack is that it was able to squeeze a lot of content into levels without bloating their size. The dynamic of playing these levels is surprisingly quite different than the average ROM hack. The exploration and observation is far more focused and the rewards are a lot more concentrated. Most Mario 64 hacks will go for big, sprawling levels, which is great, but there are many often neglected advantages of this really small level design. Less wide open space means less getting lost and a lot of tedium and travel time is trimmed down. It was a really neat idea, and as it happens, it seems to have spawned its own subgenre of Mario 64 ROM hacks, and today we have another diorama type ROM hack called the Phantom's Call. And really, how could I turn down a ROM hack called the Phantom's Call? I mean, it's literally calling me. Phantom's Call. Also, this is the first game of the marathon that actually is Christmas themed, so I'm kind of obligated to put at least one of those in here. The game does give a little warning that small levels may trigger claustrophobia, which is, of course, the fear of Santa Claus. Seems kind of silly to me. Who could be afraid of Santa? I'm such a great person, I put graphics cards in your stockings for the low price of 2 cookies and a glass of milk. Typically they call that a deal, and deals are nothing to be afraid of, ho ho. The premise of the Phantom's Call is that some phantom or creature known as the Phantom has destroyed this land, and it's all up to Mario to unmask him and maybe save Christmas or something like that. And before you ask, no, the Phantom is not me, even though that does sound like something I would do. I have bad days. Along the way, you meet up with pink bombs and toads that are just trying to have a nice peaceful Christmas, but they can't do it without their 30 power stars, so you gotta go get them, or Christmas will be ruined, and then we'll all be in trouble. Could you imagine what Wario would do if he didn't get his limited edition garlic flavored Mountain Dew? Not half as bad as what I would do. I like garlic. What I'm saying is, I was Wario the whole time. Wahaha! The game consists of 4 worlds, those being a tiny little village, a bakery in the sky, a vertically oriented complex with changing water levels, and of course, Santa's factory. This is where the elves make all those 4090s. They say that when an elf dies, their pelvic bones are repurposed into the blades of a GPU fan. That's why they're so expensive. Is it worth it? The small diorama type level design is still not a super popular subgenre of Mario 64 hacks from what I've seen, so it's a very welcome decision in my book. And visually, these are very cute and detailed worlds. The little village has a watchtower, apartments, little houses, alcoves, and paintings of the inhabitants. The bakery has a big oven at the bottom which melts the camera as you enter it, that's why it glitches out. And also, the level was supposedly demolished by Yoshi, who went on an insane cookie binge, Mario Gallery 3 style. But perhaps the most engaging one is the water level. There's one mission where you have to get a star at the top of this elevator thing, and the walls are designed to prevent you from wall jumping. So you have to launch up to the top, raise the water level to the highest point, and then reach the platform before it gets too high for you to cross into the elevator shaft. Then there's Santa's Workshop, which is another one of my favorite levels. When you're exploring the hub world, there are all these little areas up top that you can't access, because it turns out that Santa's Workshop kind of meshes with the hub, and there are all these doorways and exits that coincide with each other. It was a really cool eureka moment once I realized that was happening. Now let's talk gameplay. Fundamentally, it's Mario 64, but it is more challenging and often requires a more thoughtful approach. There are moments where the game is very forgiving, other moments not so much. The bakery is a lot of fun. There's the 200 coin mission, which, yeah, in this game you need 200, not 100. A lot of the coins are suspended in the air and you gotta fly around to get them. Check this out. I will never be able to do that again. Not every single mission is a winner, like this one where you gotta slide down the slide thing a billion times to get 8 red coins, but mostly the game is a lot of fun, and the diorama style levels are a structural twist that I still want to see more of in the future. I think one of the best parts of this game is just the Christmas theme, you know? It really does feel like Christmas from beginning to end. It is very committal to that atmosphere. Gameplay wise, it is a lot of fun, but for me, the best part was the dialogue. Every line of speech is somehow very funny. I especially love this text that happened when I pressed the invisible cap switch. Do you never not want your game not to be not saved under absolutely no circumstances at all? Well, it wouldn't be inaccurate to say that with any amount of uncertainty that I am undoubtedly not definitely rejecting the supposition that I, Phantom Beano, do not want to neglect the save feature, which I shouldn't probably avoid doing. If that indeed isn't what I'm not trying to do, even if I did not reach a conclusive decision on what my intentions aren't in this particular instance. Save the game. Koopa's hideout thingy is full of little signs full of provocative questions, my favorite being this one that suggests Jinjos and Banjo-Kazooie aren't shouting help because they need help, but instead because they're scared of you. There's a wanted poster for Yoshi for destroying the bakery, and then there's this one that's just 17 back-to-back paragraphs of the German language. I don't know what this is saying, but I'm sure it's something nice and not at all lewd or otherwise improper. And that's one of the things I like the most about this game. It does have a story with some interesting details and Easter eggs, but it's mostly so great because it's funny. But of course, I didn't forget about the music. The Phantom's Call is a perfect ROM hack for the Christmas season. It's got a lot of sass and charm on top of also being a fun game. The small handful of rough areas are made irrelevant in the face of all the things the game does right. It's also nice to see more games attempt the diorama approach, and I sincerely hope we see a lot more of that in the future. I think there is more than enough space for this to become its own subgenre of Mario 64 hacks, and indeed, I hope it does. Ho ho ho! Thank you for watching this video, and also, happy 29th anniversary to Classic Doom, released originally on the 10th of December in 1993. Perhaps it would have made more sense to talk about another Doom mod today, but that's for another day. Now don't forget to tune into tomorrow's video, and I mean that very literally because I think you'll find tomorrow's present to be very musical indeed. So remember to warm up those vocal cords with some nice Christmas carols. Merry Christmas to all!